Hello everyone. I'm making this video to give you a guide on starting off in season 25 if you're creating a monk, how to pass your season journey. Basically, chapters 1 to 3 are should be easy for you to do. But the tricky part is in chapter 4 you need to reach Greater Rift level 20 solo. And we're not getting the OP set that we want. We're not getting the Ina set. And I'm going to give you this build that I used, which is based on the 4-piece bonus of the Sambuco set. So to show you, I have my paragons completely cleared. I have no points in my paragons. I have nothing equipped. Since we don't have the ability to empty our cube, I just put items in there that do not benefit my build. So they're not gonna be used basically, because Flow of Eternity is for 7-sided strike. This is for lashing tail kick, and the amulet for pylon effects. I'm not using these abilities, so they're not gonna be of any use to me. So first off, for your gear, it's pretty simple. You simply, it doesn't really matter what gear pieces you have. I think these were the ones that you start off with the 4-piece, unless it's random for everyone. I'm not 100% sure. So you equip your 4-set bonus. Now this is going to give us a massive buff on Sweeping Wind. Every second, Sweeping Wind will spawn a decoy next to the last enemy we've hit that taunts nearby enemies and then explodes for 1000% weapon damage for every stack of Sweeping Wind that we have. So by default, Sweeping Wind gives you a maximum of 3 stacks. If you're very lucky and you happen to get Vengeful Wind, you can raise this to a 13 stacks, which massively increases your damage on this build, but I'm going to be running it without this. So honestly, you're basically building off the 4 set bonus, and to show you that like you don't really need anything crazy. So you just craft your rare gear, right? So we got our chest, we got our belt. We need some bracers, so let's craft some rare bracers. We need a pair of pants. I'm not gonna use like anything crazy here. We're simply going to equip, basically you're equipping level 70 gear. That's all you're really doing. So since your set bonus skills of your weapon damage, you want a weapon with high damage. So you're going since you're not attacking, we're not really using our basic, like our Way of the 100 Fists, we're not using it to deal damage, right? We just use it to refresh our Sweeping Wind. So we just craft a 200. Let's see. I can't craft one. Let's see if we can buy one real quick. Let's see, a weapon, a rare staff with 3000 damage. It really doesn't matter what you're using. So 200 staff, 200 weapons generally have more weapon damage. So we use that. Let's see, can we craft 2 rare rings maybe? Yeah, we can. So you craft your 2 level 70 rings. There. So right now we have like just short of 250k sheet damage. We have about 3 million toughness, and this is without anything crazy on it. We don't even have anything socketed. in our stuff. You could, if you want to. It's very easy to farm up, for example, a Sliver of Terror for your helmet, or a Dregs of Lies for your weapon, or anything else. But you don't really need it. And I'm going to show you exactly how this build works. So if we go over the abilities, right? We have our Sweeping Wind. We use the Inner Storm rune, which is going to help us with just spirit regeneration, so we can use our abilities more often. This is what you want to keep up all the time. You always want to have Sweeping Wind active, because that is your damage. Wave of the 100 Fists, Assimilation, it's going to give you a little bit of a damage buff on every third hit. So it's going to give you that 5% damage buff every 5 seconds. Cyclone Strike Implosion, literally for grouping mobs together. You want mobs grouped together, so that when your decoy explodes, the entire group goes boom. Dashing Strike, Blinding Speed. We want Dashing Strike for movement, so we can move through the rift fast. Blinding Speed will give us 40% dodge for 4 seconds. If we use it, we can use this as in a defensive way. If we get into any trouble with our HP, you can pop a Dashing Strike and you get a bit of survivability, right? Inner Sanctuary is a defensive one. We use a Safe Haven rune, so it also heals us. This will literally give you 55% damage reduction for 6 seconds, which is really, really good. Serenity Ascension, it's literally your God mode button. You're invulnerable for 4 seconds. So the entire build works around Sweeping Wind. The rest is just to make you survive. So we need to clear a Greater Rift 20. Greater Rift 20 is about Torment 4 difficulty. So we're gonna hop in there, and we're just gonna give this a test drive. So here we are. You just pop your Sweeping Winds, get the stacks up. You group your enemies, and the explosion from your set bonus is gonna literally kill everything. As you saw in my equipment, I'm not using anything too crazy. Every now and then you'll see me pop a Inner Sanctuary or Serenity, just to give myself like the damage reduction, so that I can survive. Here we have an elite pack. Takes a little bit of time, but it shouldn't pose too much of a problem. You literally group it together, and your explosions are gonna kill everything. And this is literally the only thing you need is your 4 set bonus from your Sambuco set, which you literally get for free from your journey. And let's be honest, like chapter 1 to 3, it's nothing insane. It's not that difficult to clear them. You don't need any gear for it. You don't need any build for it. Your 4 set bonus should be rather easy to get. And we're literally, our Sweeping Wind is literally killing everything for us. But because not only does it a lot of damage, it's also taunting enemies. It's grouping enemies together for you. It's making sure they attack your clones and not you. over here you saw I aggroed a little bit too much. You want to take it a bit easy, honestly. You don't want to gather too many enemies because you're not tanky. It is you're still pretty vulnerable. But take it easy and you should have no problems. Trash mobs are super easy to kill. The elites might pose a bit of a threat. Here we get ourselves a speed pylon, which is alright. It helps us clear the rift a bit faster. Just make sure you hit enemies every few seconds so that your sweeping wind stays up. Because your sweeping wind is your damage dealer, right? If sweeping wind drops, you deal no damage. We don't want to stand in the explosions, obviously. And as you can see, you do like millions of damage just from sweeping wind. And the trick for that is literally grab the highest damage weapon you can find, because that's what your damage is scaling off. And you just group stuff together. This is a nice group. Oh, and it's gone already. And that's gone. Here we have an elite pack again. Just tank it. And your sweeping wind is gonna take care of everything. As you can see there, I popped my dashing strike, which gave me the 40% dodge for a few seconds in order to survive. Here we group those enemies together. This might be a little bit tricky. They are kind of hard hitting enemies, but we're alright. We're chilling. Your only job really is focusing on staying alive. You're trying to stay alive as much as you can, and your sweeping wind is going to do all the damage. You don't have to worry about doing a ton of damage yourself. It's literally keeping sweeping wind up, and it's going to do everything for you. Group your enemies together with your cyclone strike. Don't stand in the explosions. And sweeping wind is gonna... It's literally killing everything. Now we got our shield pylon, which is insanely good. Shield pylons are something you want to go for, and obviously the conduit is going to be massive. So you just group up your enemies and you just watch sweeping winds like decimate them all with the explosions. It's overall, it's not a difficult build to run. Anyone can really run this. You don't need any specific legendaries. You don't need any specific gear other than your 4-piece Sun Wukos. And it's literally going to help you do the most tricky part of the chapter 4, which is definitely the level 20 rift. It's tricky every single time. But hopefully this build is gonna help. This is what I used to clear my greater rift on level 20. And I had no issues running this. It was very easy to throw together. It was very simple to run. Over here we might have a bit of an issue because I aggroed a little bit too much. But fortunately there was a channeling pylon over there, so I can kind of survive this. Thanks to our channeling pylon that we got so graciously from our rift design, we're able to pop our defensive abilities more, which allows us to literally stand in those lasers and not worry about a thing. Keep in mind that to check if your sweeping wind is up, you don't have to look for the animation around your character. You look at the ability in your hotbar and you can literally see if there's a number on the bottom left, it means it's active. And it shows you the amount of stacks. You want to make sure that it's always on 3, because obviously that's going to be your biggest damage bonus. Since it's 1,000 weapon damage per stack that you have active. With 3 stacks, that is 3,000% weapon damage that you're dishing out with your sweeping wind. As you can see, we're not struggling at all to kill stuff. The elite packs take a little bit longer, but overall they don't really pose a threat. The frozen pulse is an annoying thing, but nothing we can't dodge. There we have our sweet Rift Guardian. Obviously, we're not getting the nicest Rift Guardian. We have to deal with the freaking Blighter, which is always a pain with this poison. Well, we're good. We're doing fine. We're just make sure you don't get hit by the poison. Obviously, that sweeping wind is still up on 3 stacks, so we're good. We got bursted down there, but it's no problem. Look at the time, we have 3 minutes left. Should be enough to deal with this guy. Keep in mind that your inner sanctuary heals you. So if you are on low HP and struggling, pop that inner sanctuary and it's going to heal you back up to full. Shouldn't be any problem for inner sanctuary to heal you up. And there you go. We just cleared Greater Rift 20 using nothing but our Sambuco set. And I hope this build will help you guys finish it. You could obviously make a little bit of variance about around this build. It just needs your 4-piece bonus. It needs sweeping wind, and the rest is basically interchangeable. If you have Vengeful Wind, it's gonna give you a massive bonus. This is gonna make you do a lot more damage and make it a lot easier. So you could try to get that weapon. If you can't, it's no problem. We just did it with just a rare staff with 3k DPS. So I hope this helps you. I wish you the best of luck during your season, and I'll hopefully see you guys on the leaderboards. See you later.